What happens when you mix gritty prisons, brutal martial arts, and some of the most badass fight choreography ever put to film? You get the Undisputed franchise, a series that went from underground fights to full-blown martial arts madness. But which movie comes out on top? Let's rank all 4 Undisputed films from the first punch to the last knockout. Today we're diving into the Undisputed franchise, a series that evolved from a gritty boxing prison drama to a martial arts masterpiece, led by none other than Yuri Boyka himself, the most complete fighter in the world. So grab your gloves and let's rank these bad boys from worst to best. Coming in at number 4 is the one that started it all, 2002's Undisputed, directed by Walter Hill. You have Wesley Snipes playing Monroe Hudson, and you got George Iceman Chambers being played by Ving Rhames. The first film set the stage with a gritty prison boxing match. We don't really have any of those super MMA moves or flashy martial arts kicks like we do in the later movies. Now don't get me wrong, this movie has its strength. Wesley Snipes brings it with his charisma and grit, and Ving Rhames brings it with his cockiness and his arrogance. And the boxing choreography is really good, but it's more of a drama than an action flick. It's also missing that over-the-top energy that the later films are known for, and while it is a good drama, it pales in comparison with what comes next. So what's the verdict? It's a good film, but it's not exactly the knockout we would expect from the series. Next up, in third place, we have Undisputed IV Boyka. In this movie, we see Boyka on a path to redemption after he accidentally kills an opponent in the ring. It's not just about the fights this time, there's a deeper emotional core to the story, with Boyka helping the widow of the fighter that he accidentally killed. That being said, the fights are insane in this film. The choreography's meaner and it's faster than it's ever been before. You could tell Scott Adkins really put his heart and soul into this role this time around playing Boyka because it really shows in the character. What sets this one apart is the balance between action and story. You care about Boyka's journey in this film, and that makes every kick, punch, and flip hit harder. It is a great Undisputed film, but to me it's not the best Undisputed film because I've always been about the fights, and this one slows down a little bit with those. This movie was a perfect way to end the franchise, but I have to say I was wanting more because I can never get enough of Yuri Boyka. He's one of my favorite characters in film. Coming in at second place, we have Undisputed II, Last Man Standing, with Michael Jai White taking over for Ving Rhames in this movie, and it is absolutely a knockout. It flips the script in the best way possible, and in my opinion, this is where the franchise really found its footing. This is where the fight choreography started leaning into martial arts, and it got really fast and flashy and adrenaline-fueled. We see George Chambers in Russia shooting a commercial for Russian vodka. Unbeknownst to him, he's been set up by his manager, and now he is forced to go to Russian prison. It doesn't take long for the intentions to be made clear, as he is intended to fight Yuri Boyka because the mob controls the prison and they can see a lot of money being made from them two fighting. This is where we get introduced to Boyka, how cold, calculated he is, and that his goal is to become the most complete fighter in the world. Even though Boyka is technically the villain in this film, his presence dominates the screen every time that he's on it, and you really can't get enough of him. This is the movie that gave us Boyka, who would go on to carry the Undisputed franchise. Not to mention the fight between Chambers and Boyka is one that you could watch on repeat because it's very impressive. Coming in at number 1 is Undisputed III Redemption. This is where the franchise really hit its stride because the fights are meaner, the villain is meaner, it just ramps everything up to 100. The movie opens up with Boyka recovering from his injury, and he's no longer the complete fighter that he once was. Now he cleans the toilets in the prison. He's a man with something to prove, and the journey from underdog to champion is one of the most satisfying arcs that we see in the franchise. The fights are next level here. It's a prison tournament, which means we get introduced to fighters with various fighting styles, and they just get better and better as the movie goes on. The martial arts choreography is at the top of the game here. Every fight is brutal, it's clean, and it's calculated. On top of everything else, Boyka's transformation from villain to anti-hero in this film really takes things up a notch. You can't help but root for him, even though he's not perfect. This one really raised the bar for action sequels and solidified Yuri Boyka as a character to be reckoned with in action cinema. So there you have it, my ranking of the Undisputed franchise. From the gritty boxing of the first movie to the martial arts spectacle that the series would evolve to, led by none other than Mr. Yuri Boyka himself. This franchise is a must-watch for any action fan, especially if you're a fan of martial arts. Do you agree with my ranking? Do you have a different ranking? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more rankings and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.